Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Joel Benavidez Sr. That's the father of David Benavidez, and he says that Canelo is a worn fighter and is not the same. And he said this about the multiple style champ. He said that, to me, he's a little bit worn. He's fought a lot of good people. A lot of people don't give him credit. He got hit a lot by Kovalev. That fight, to me, Kovalev was winning all that fight. And then I don't know what happened. And then he fought Triple G2. He got hit with big shots. He was the best, but he's had so many fights. He's been dedicated to the game, disciplined, but the body wears out. That's what I think. He's had so many fights, and he's worn a little bit. I don't think those knees are even 70%. Okay, so I think me and David have a pretty good chance, but don't get me wrong. That's a very dangerous fight, and anything can happen. But like I said, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, said Benavidez. Okay, so looking at what we know about David. I know David wanted to fight Canelo for a long time now. You know, ever since Canelo went to 168, David's been there at 168, you know, when he stopped Rocky Fielding. And I know that from reading this article that Joel Sr., he has much respect for Canelo. But I would have to disagree 100%. I think Canelo has fought a lot of people. And I did question the brace, because he always seemed to wear that brace during fights. But then you remember when he got popped for clenbuterol, he said that he went to have surgery or cosmetic surgery on that knee, right? But he always kept that brace on. Well, recently I've seen him with that brace or without that brace, training with. So I don't know if that's still a question of being a worn fighter. I don't think that Canelo's a worn fighter. I think that at this point he's selecting certain fights, sure, but I don't think he's a worn fighter, no stretch of the imagination. He's too young for that. You know, even taken or given when he started, which was 15, and he's almost 30, that's 15 years. But if he was so worn, he would have that brace on, and then you could kind of wonder, why do you have to have that brace on all the time? So that has to show that he needs some type of support from that knee, meaning that knee has some type of problem. But I don't think that's the case with Canelo, because I've seen him again, you know, with him training without that brace. You know, it's not like he's like Sergio Martinez, right? Sergio needed it. He needed like this extra support brace because his knees were shot. Okay, and we could tell that in the Martin Murray fight, and we could definitely tell that in the Miguel Cotto fight. That's why I think Freddie Roach wanted to snatch that away from him, because he knew that was supporting him in some type of way. But I don't think that's Canelo's thing. But would I love to see David take on Canelo? I would love to see that fight, you know. But I think that Canelo will have a more difficult time with David than someone like Kovalev, because he gave Kovalev a lot of credit. Well, Kovalev was a shot fighter anyways. He had a rehydration clause. He looked small and dried up. He didn't look like he had had even hydrated back to his normal weight, because, again, they had a hydration clause. Those are the type of things that people pinpoint to know what can affect a fighter, what could give a fighter strength. And I don't think Kovalev was prepared for that fight anyway. So I didn't see him winning anything, because I didn't see his punches land, okay, the way they supposed to land. They'll land the way they hit Alvarez, you know, Elither Alvarez in the second fight, you know, or Anthony Yard, okay, and their clash together. So I think that Joel I think he's missed the plot. I think he's reaching a little bit, but we'll see if that fight ever matures. But remember that Canelo fights on the zone, and those guys over on the PBC are loyal as dogs. So we'll see if they can come to some type of agreement to fight each other. But as of now, that's the talk. That's my counterpunch. You guys tell me what you think about Joel Sr. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.